All right, good morning. Welcome to this morning's session. My name is Taryn Thompson. I'm your virtual health coach and founder of the Gen Health Coaching Program. So welcome to those of you who are joining on Periscope and those of you who are watching on Facebook Live. This morning we're going to be talking about how much protein to eat for your body type. And I'm telling you, I'm glad to be delivering this topic. You know, just this week I had a consultation with a potential client, and his goal was to put on body mass. So he wanted to put on some muscle and he wanted to put on some weight. And a lot of the conversation that he wanted to have was about protein. So there can be a lot of misconceptions about protein. Today what I want to do is I want to let you know how much protein it is that you need to have based on your body type. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of what I'm referring to when I'm talking about body types. I want to let you know that if your goal is to lose weight, if it's to get healthier, if part of your goal is to put on some lean mass, then protein is a crucial ingredient for that, but you've got to make sure that it's in context. You've got to make sure that you get it right. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. Look, if you have not taken our body type quiz before, if you are joining for the first time and you have not heard about the body type quiz, then at the end of this message, I'm going to let you know where you can take that quiz. See, what I talk about is a habit that you've got to follow when it comes to protein, and that is make sure that you are getting enough protein in your meals and snacks. Okay, so that is 1 out of the 10 habits that I teach on. Now, when you do this, when you're getting enough protein, it means that you're going to get much longer out of your meals, just as one benefit, which means that you're not going to need to eat as frequently. So when you get longer out of your meals and you don't need to eat as frequently, this creates an environment where your blood sugar levels are nice and stable. And this environment is key for fat burning and recovery. And the reason why it's so key is because your body cannot burn fat if it's producing a whole bunch of hormones that are stress related, or other fat storage hormones such as insulin, which is a byproduct of if you eat too much protein. Okay, so it's important that you eat enough protein in your meals and snacks. Now, if you don't get enough protein in your meals and snacks, you're really going to You're really going to struggle. You're going to find that your blood sugars are going to drop a lot sooner, which means that at the start of the day, if this is starting for you, then cravings are going to come in. And as soon as cravings arrive, then it's very hard to kick them for the rest of the day. So if it's starting off mid-morning for you, where you are starting to develop those cravings, or you're starting to feel like something sweet, or even the need for caffeine, then you're going to find that the rest of the day is just going to be a downhill slide. So you want to catch it at the beginning of the day, which means that part of the setup is getting enough protein. Okay, so here are some of the variables. If you are an adrenal body type, all right, so if you are predominantly carrying fat around your midsection, then you want to make sure that you are getting between 50 to 75 grams of protein. Okay, now I'm talking about not the weight of protein, I'm talking about actual protein grams. So for an example, and I'm going to refer to it this way right the way through my recommendations, okay? So 100 grams of weighted protein, so if you were to have a palm size of chicken breast, then that would give you about 21 grams of protein, okay? So the amount that I recommend if you are an adrenal body type is between 50 to 75 grams. You don't want to get lower than 50, and you don't really want to be getting higher than 75, or you're going to start to get into that too high mark, okay? So make sure that if you are this body type, that you are spreading your protein evenly throughout the day. So you've got to make sure that breakfast and snacks and lunch and dinners are getting as close to equal as possible amounts of protein. Now the reason why you need to do this is because with the adrenal body type, you have a problem with maintaining your blood sugars. Okay, your blood sugars are very unstable, and this is due to the amount of cortisol, which is a stress hormone, that's floating around in the bloodstream. And with this high level of cortisol, it means that your body is constantly needing to self-regulate. Okay, and so apart from the cravings that you experience, what it does is it can break down your muscle tissue. So it can actually cause your body to take from your lean mass, convert that to sugar, just in order to stabilize your blood sugar levels. Okay, so it's important that you spread protein throughout the day as evenly as possible, so that it so that you're not losing lean mass. Now, initially, if you're just starting on your fat loss journey, initially you might actually notice that for the first 1 to 2 weeks that you don't lose much weight at all, if any. And if your cortisol has been really high, if you've been even suffering from adrenal fatigue, then you'll have found a lot of muscle wastage. And so what's going to need to happen is your body's going to need to replenish the muscle that was lost. You're not going to be as such building muscle. You're just going to be replenishing muscle that was lost before your body can actually start to let go of that body fat. So that's something that you want to look out for. So the way that I recommend that you do it is make a little meal plan the night before so that you know how the next day is going to look. I recommend that you snack on things like eggs, cottage cheese is great on crackers with maybe a bit of avocado, some tomato, salt and pepper. Smoothies are great to make for a snack. If you have smoothies for a main meal, then about a half portion is suitable for a snack. And there are some really great bars out there that are whole food and are fantastic sources of protein. Now the next body type, another variable. If you are an estrogen body type, so if you store fat in the lower half of your body, in your lower abdomen, and your legs, buttocks, thighs have a problem with cellulite, then you have a problem with your with the amount of estrogen that is being produced or accumulating with your body. And so the amount of protein that you want to have is actually the same as the adrenal, 50 to 75 grams. Okay, now the main difference is that you do not need to spread it out so evenly throughout the day. You can actually focus on just having protein in your main meals, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then in your snacks, instead of them being protein based, you can actually focus on having other things in your snacks, like getting enough fats, and so nuts and seeds and peanut butter, avocado, flaxseed oil, maybe a little bit of yogurt with some nuts and seeds, maybe some fruit with some peanut butter. Those are the ways that you can incorporate snacks into your diet. You don't need to be focused on having protein spread so evenly throughout the day. Okay, the last two body types I'm going to put together, the recommendation is the same. That's for the thyroid and the liver body type. If you are either of these two body types, then your protein recommendations are different. You need to have between 25 and 35 grams of protein. Okay, now predominantly I'm talking here about animal protein. Your animal proteins must not be higher than 35 grams. Okay, now remember, I'm not talking about the weight, I'm talking about actual grams of protein. So you may have half of a portion of, half a palm of chicken breast, which would be the equivalent of about 10 grams of protein, 10 to 15 grams of protein. If you have that in two of your main meals, and then you might, to have more protein, which is necessary, you actually need to be getting that from vegetarian sources. Okay, so the main reason for this is because your thyroid hormones, the thyroid gland, which makes all the thyroid hormones, are struggling. Okay, so when the thyroid is struggling, when it's a little sluggish, your whole metabolism is affected. And this is because your thyroid is responsible for the speed of your metabolism. Now, all of your thyroid hormones must actually be activated, if you will. Let's use the word activated, through your liver. Okay, so even if your thyroid is producing suitable thyroid hormones, if your liver is loaded and it's not able to activate them, then it does not matter that your thyroid is producing them, because they're not in your body in their active form, therefore they're not able to do their job. Okay, this is very, very key, and it's often missed. So if you are a thyroid or liver body type, which means that your liver is struggling, it's a little loaded, then you need to make sure that you are taking it easy on the liver by reducing the amount of animal protein in your diet. And look, if you're not a huge fan of vegetarian sources of protein, that's okay. I've got some fantastic recipes on my website. You can even Google some great recipes that incorporate these type of proteins. Okay, so here are some vegetarian type of proteins. Chickpeas, lentils, kidney beans. Now these all go great with like a healthy nachos. They also go great in slow cooks and soups. I also recommend hummus, which you can have with your salads. So if you're making a salad that has about 50 grams of protein, so about half a palm, then you might want to top that up with a couple of tablespoons of hummus, and then have your salad and some nuts and seeds or whatever else that you're having with that. Tahini is great, peanut butter, runny eggs. These are all really great sources of vegetarian protein vegetarian protein, which are easily digestible. Therefore, is not going to take a lot of is not going to be putting on a lot of stress on your liver. It's not going to be adding to that stress. So the whole idea is to reduce the load for the liver, reduce the list of things that it needs to do so that it's able to actually start doing what it needs to do in order to help you burn fat. So that's the message for today, guys. I really hope that you got some key things that you can focus on in terms of protein for your body type. If you have not taken the body type quiz before, then you can get access through that on our website. So you want to go to generationhealth.co.nz, and then on the main page there, you'll see take the body type quiz. You'll see a little icon with some bodies on it. So you want to click on that and it'll take you straight there. Or you can go to www.generationhealth.co.nz/quiz. All right. So that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Tomorrow morning, join me again 8 o'clock. If this is one of your first times joining, I do these trainings on a Monday to Thursday at 8 a.m. So I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic rest of your day.